Have you wondered if the NATO approach, our way, truly helps everyone with insomnia? Perhaps you wondered if you are that one exception, or if there are any exceptions in general. If you had this question, then stay tuned because this episode is for you. We are going to look at the three most common reasons it may appear as if our way is not for everyone and what to do. Hi, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful New Year celebration if you celebrated New Year and that your year has started in a really nice way and that you'll have an amazing 2025. And I'm so glad that you're here starting off the new year with learning about sleep and the human mind here at the Sleep Coach School. Very much look forward to another year of continuing this path of learning with you. And we'll start off with a topic that I think is very pertinent for lots of people in our community, and it often shows up as a version of this question: will this work for everyone? Which is often actually a way of saying, will this work for me? Because me is part of everyone, right? And this may be from someone who has seen that our way has helped a lot of people. There are a lot of success stories on our channel. There are a lot of nice comments, and yeah, I know people on social media talk about how they found our teachings helpful. By the way, thanks for that. Thanks for everyone, especially on Reddit, because so many people now say, "Hey, Daniel, I heard about you on Reddit." So glad for everyone sharing about our channel there. But anyways, if you hear of a lot of people who find our way helpful, but things haven't really developed the way you'd want them to develop for you, you may wonder, like, am I the exception? Are there any exceptions? Is there anything I should know about? And so this is why we're talking about this here. But actually, I want to share the backstory about this particular episode, because although what I just said is very, very true, it is very, very common for students to ask this question. This episode is actually inspired by a question from one of our coaches in training. His name is John, and he actually asked Coach Alina a question in our Slack channel. And Coach Alina and myself, we're the ones who are doing the education for the coaches in training. So we asked her the following question, word for word: do we ever have clients who don't see improvement? John asked her. And then Alina replied, and I thought that was such a nice reply. And I immediately thought, oh, this could be great content. This is something we should really talk about in this on our YouTube channel here. So basically, what I'm going to share here is really just paraphrasing Alina's wonderful reply. And she said to John, and now this is not word for word, this is just paraphrasing. She said to John that, yeah, there are actually students who leave our immunity program without seeing any improvement. And then she said, here are some reasons for that. And she didn't really specifically say like there are three reasons, but essentially she was describing three reasons. So those are the ones we're going to go over. So now we're going to go over the three reasons it can seem like what we teach isn't working, like it's not leading you where you want it to lead. And the first one is what we call the investigative phase or the investigative stage. We have actually an entire video dedicated to this, and if you search for the investigative phase or the investigative stage, you'll find it's myself and Coach Michelle who did an episode on this. But the investigative phase is a one that I'd say everyone goes through. It's not like someone starts having trouble sleeping, starts to become afraid of being awake at night, and then immediately realizes that the reason they have trouble sleeping is because they have been scared of not sleeping at night, and they immediately realize this is an inner struggle, etc., etc. Really, everyone that I've ever met has gone through a phase where they have been kind of questioning what's happening, wondering what's happening, investigating what's happening. And this is a time where you may go see a doctor, you may have some blood work done, you may get some x-rays done, you may see psychologists, you may be reading books, you may read up on sleep hygiene, you may try all kinds of things. And this is basically a phase of trying to find out what is happening to you, and maybe trying various ailments, various remedies, various treatments, etc., etc. And When when it becomes clear one way or another that insomnia truly is just one out of many ways we can experience anxiety, then the investigative phase is over because the truth has been revealed. You have seen what truly lies behind the sleep struggle. Now, sometimes we have students who find us who are in the midst of this investigative stage and are tuning into our messaging, but are also concerned that they may have a pituitary adenoma, or they may have hypothyroidism, or that it is a medical condition of some sort lying behind this, right? Something of that nature. And then what we teach may not really help because the student in this case is very scared, is worried that they have some type of underlying medical condition going on, right? So they're not really ready for the inner journey. They're not ready to kind of commit to the idea that this is really all from a fear of not sleeping. All the experiences are from this fear. So there's a question here of readiness. Now, if we're not quite ready for the journey inside because we have fears about, for example, a medical condition, then uh, our teachings are not really landing in kind of fertile soil, which is ready for fully exploring our topics and taking this journey within, right? So the first reason why it may look like our way isn't really helpful or working is that someone is in the investigative phase or investigative stage. And we'll talk about what to do for each of these scenarios towards the end. Number two, the delivery. I think Alina, found this one. Found something that's very, very true here, which is the following: that although the truths are the same for all these inner struggles, right? And these are the universal truths, by the way, which have been with us for thousands of years. Uh, the way somebody speaks about them or shares them or teaches on them may not be the most helpful fit for you as a student, meaning I may say something differently from Coach Alina, for example, who may say some things differently from Coach Christian, but maybe all of us in the sleep coach school have sort of a similar language, similar vernacular, similar analogies, similar ways of teaching. And if for any reason this isn't really a fit for you, it doesn't seem clear to you the way we speak, et cetera, then there is a really a question here of kind of compatibility, if you will. And of course, if the way something's communicated doesn't really resonate, it doesn't click, you don't really get it, then like that won't lead to transformation because the education isn't really transmitted in a helpful way, right? So this is the second way that it may look like what we teach isn't really helpful or isn't working. And thirdly, we have the expectations. And this is when somebody is expecting that as soon as they start learning, there ought to be a fairly quick turnaround and a permanent change towards peaceful sleep is happening and in a kind of linear way, something like that. And when that doesn't happen, there may be a real question of why, and there may be a lot of pressure coming from like, why isn't this working yet? Nothing has changed, or a version of that is like, you know, the first week I started learning about this, I slept great, but then I had trouble sleeping again, and I'm just not getting back to that first week I had. Like, the expectation again that things should be linear, that can create a lot of pressure and a lot of questions. So here we have this question of time. Often there's often a time frame component here, and if there are expectations of this quick permanent turnaround and this doesn't happen, that can keep students stuck in a struggle for a bit. So here expectations can get in the way, and these really so we talked about, again, starting from the top, the investigative stage, and then the delivery, and then the expectations. Those are the three most common reasons that it may appear as what we teach does not work for everyone. or for you. So if this is the case, if any of these have occurred to you or just in general, how do we meet this? What do we do? I would say if somebody is in this investigative stage or investigative phase, I think the most helpful is to just let the investigative phase run its course, essentially examine everything, look under every rock, do all the examinations, visits, everything that you think may reveal something. And if something is revealed and that leads to you sleeping peacefully forever, that's amazing. But to me, when it comes to insomnia, there's only one thing that truly can be revealed that leads there, and that to me is that what we call insomnia really is a struggle that emanates from a fear of not sleeping. And very often, as the investigative phase leads to a place where you see this one way or another. Typically, it's that you kind of like run into so many dead ends that don't lead where you want to be, that our way starts to truly resonate. And you see, like, okay, now I get it. Yeah, there's nothing there. It's all about fear, right? So arriving there really happens typically when we just let the investigative phase run its course, and then we arrive at where we are ready for our way. And if, on the other hand, if the way we teach doesn't resonate, if you sense like there is something here, I think they're onto something, but things aren't clicking for me. I don't really understand what they're talking about here. I don't get their language. Then maybe looking for somebody who teaches with words, with language, in a way that resonates for you will be really, really helpful. And this could be somebody within the insomnia space, like Beth Kendall over at Mind Body Sleep, or it could be somebody like Martin Reed, insomnia coach, or Joseph Panel, You Can Sleep Too, or maybe ACT, maybe like study the Sleep book or other work by Guy Meadows, or venture even outside of the sleep space, because really what we teach here about like self-exploration, about acceptance, those are universal concepts that have been around for thousands of years. So you can even study like a philosophy like Stoicism and apply it to the sleep struggle, or Buddhism, or Zen Buddhism, or yogic philosophy, or something like that. Find a teacher in any of those disciplines that can be really, really helpful as well. And if you see that there's probably been a question of like expectations that have stood in your way, well, guess what? Then just aligning those expectations with how most people see things unfold is really what's going to lead to things getting easier for you. And when we've seen these three reasons, very often you can then see that yes, the way of leaving the struggle, it works for everyone. It is the same for everyone, because we're all the same. We humans are all the same. My kidneys work the same way in principle as your kidneys, the pancreas the same, the lungs the same. So it is with the mind. Everyone who's had an insomnia struggle has had it because of the same reasons, and everyone leaves the struggle in the same way. So yes, I believe for sure our way works for everyone, including you. And hopefully, now that you know about these exceptions, you can see that and you can find your way on the path towards where you want to be, a place of peaceful sleep and peace of mind. We will start off the year with this first Insomnia Insight episode from me, actually. I know Kristen has already shared one. But again, look forward to having you here on another year of learning about ourselves and the human mind and sleep and much more. See you in the next one. Bye for now.
Hi, it's me, Coach Daniel, and I hope you found the video you just saw full of inspirational content and full of educational content as well, because that's really what we try to do here in the school. We try to educate and inspire. And if you're finding that things are clicking for you and sleep is happening easier and you're leaving the struggle, please let us know in the comment section, because we live for that. We live for hearing how somebody is finding sleep and life becoming lighter and easier. And not only are you doing us a huge favor as sleep coaches and like filling our tank with that gas, that makes us never want to stop doing this, but you're also helping the community. You're helping by inspiring other people, and by commenting, you're telling YouTube that this was interesting, and YouTube feeds our content to more people so that they can discover our teachings and things get easier for them. So again, if you found things getting easier for you, please let us know in the comment section. We can't wait to hear from you.